We have some sort of advanced modeling software. So if we can understand all these things, the science, technology, innovation can be interfaced and we'll be able to provide some sort of mitigation measures what society is looking for. All these are these disasters. Yes, few months back we have heard we had Joshima problem. Before last year we had Dhalidanga, Rishiganga, that huge rock mass got avalanche from the high altitude. And 2013 all of you know that Kedarnath disasters. And 1991 we got Uttarkasi earthquake, 1999 Chamoli earthquake. So all these things are happening because of the natural phenomena, because of this environmental degradation, because of these anthropogenic activities. So we need to understand how much we should do so that we will be able to utilize the resources for our socio-economic development, and other hand we will be able to sustain the ecosystem, we will be able to preserve the Himalayan environment, Himalayan biodiversity. Today we are attributing the climate change, main factor is coming to the usage of the fossil fuels. And fossil fuel is the energy. Energy is the driver for any country's economic growth. Without energy, life is standstill. So how will we be able to give an alternative to the fossil fuels that can meet the gigantic energy requirement of the world? This is the world problem, climate change, not the local problem. How will we be able to do that? So we have a tremendous opportunity and scope to make a renaissance into the renewable energy resources, into the green energy resources, either to tap the solar, wind, hydrogen, hydro, geothermal, nuclear, ocean current, or maybe plastics we can utilize for the biofuels, or maybe agricultural residue we can convert into some sort of ethanol. But if we look into the last 2 to 3 decades, we have not been able to make any breakthrough into those areas. Only 6% of the global energy requirement is being made by the hydroelectricity, 5% by the nuclear, and another 5% of the renewable energy resources. Till date, 80% of the world energy requirement, which is very much required, I have already mentioned, for the socio-economic development by the fossil fuels. So can we make an alternate to the fossil fuels? Or if we cannot make an alternate to the fossil fuels, at International Energy Agency 2021 they say fossil fuels will remain to meet our gigantic energy requirement. If that is the situation, then we have to find out some ways. What are those ways? That ways are also there. We have to utilize our innovative mind, we have to utilize our intellectual, so that we will be able to make in that direction also. What of that direction? That direction is that we know by the utilization of the fossil fuels, we are from the household we are generating carbon dioxide, from the factory we are generating carbon dioxide, from the processing unit we are producing the carbon dioxide. These are the static sources. We need to capture the carbon dioxide from those static sources. We have dynamic sources, transportation. They are also producing carbon dioxide. So we have to find out innovative ways to capture those carbon dioxide from the static sources as well as from the dynamic sources, by absorption, filtration, or by some other ways. But after capturing what? After capturing, we have to convert the carbon dioxide into usable products or usable process. What are the usable products? Still yet we have not been able to make that, but it is possible if we can have some sort of chemical reaction between the carbon dioxide, and if we can convert it to carbonate. That carbonate can be utilized for the glass industry, pulp industry, drug industry, even for water softening, even for cement. Or we can convert that carbon dioxide into methanol or its derivative that can be utilized for plywoods, paints, even some sort of synthetic fabrics or agrochemicals. So we have ways. We have to think our innovative mind. We have to capture those carbon dioxide and convert it into usable products in the form of carbonates or in the form of methanol. Or we can utilize that carbon dioxide for different processes. That processes are needed. We have huge sources of the gas hydrate into the ocean. And if we can exploit only 10% of the gas hydrate, it can meet our energy requirement. And the gas hydrate methane constituent is the cleanest hydrocarbon, CH4, only one carbon. Other gases and other oil and coal, they produce much more carbon dioxide than the methane. So we can have some sort of molecular substitution of the methane by injecting carbon dioxide into the methane hydride reservoir. We can also flat carbon dioxide in some conventional oil field for the enhanced oil recovery, or we can tap the carbon dioxide for geological sequestration, so that what will happen into the deep coal seam, into the depleted oil and gas field, subvolcanic sediments, suboceanic sediments, they are very good hosts for the accumulation of the carbon dioxide, and by experiment we have found out that can stay for millions of years. So if we can do this carbon capture, utilization, sequestration experiment, then at one hand we will be able to meet the gigantic energy requirement, provided we are not able successful to the green energy or renewable energy, and other hand we will be able to meet that carbon neutrality by 2050 and carbon net zero carbon by 2070. So in our country, particularly India, is really very fortunate. We are very fortunate. We have different type of landscape. We have high altitude Himalaya in the north. We have long coastline on either side of the Indian continent, and they are having round the year plethora of sunshine, plethora of wind. Even in the Himalaya, we have geothermal energy resources. We have a mix of carbon bearing and gas bearing sedimentary formations. We have almost 4 months rainfall, most part of the Indian country, and the snowfall into the Himalayan regions. We have variable climate, tropical climate into the south. Then if you go to the north, temperate. If you go to the further north into Himalaya, we have alpine. And we have different sources of energy. We have different type of requirement at the agricultural centric ecosystem into the rural area, and industry centric ecosystem into the urban area. So we are having different type of requirement in different part of the city. So if we can exploit the resources which is needed for required purpose of that region, we will be able to meet the energy requirement at one hand, and other hand it will not make some sort of impact to the climate change. Because of this climate change we are experiencing today, lot of land degradation, lot of disaster, lot of effect. We are particularly in the Himalayan state, we are experiencing much more. But the impact is not limited to the Himalaya. We cannot think that it is our problem, it is everybody's problem. Even in the coastal region, we have cyclones, we have tsunamis, we have coastal erosions. Even in the plain, we have floods, we have droughts. So we need to comprehend all of them, then only we will be able to meet the target what we are envisaging in the G20, that we have to make some sort of economic stability, we have to make a green and clean environment, we have to build a very disaster resilient and climate adaptable society. For whom? For everybody. And that's what one earth, one family, one future is a very good topic. That's what that acronym in our Sanskrit language we have given, and this conveys a lot of important messages to all of us, and it shows our accountability, our responsibility. If we really want to do that, then we need industry people. Whatever scientific knowledge we gain, the knowledge has to be translated into product. That will be needed for the society. But who will give that particular conversion or innovative development? That is the industry. This startup is here, our Gauravji, he will be giving some sort of implications. So we all as a scientist, we all as a technologist, we all as a innovator have to come together and then meet the requirement, whatever has been envisaged by our Prime Minister, 10 points disaster risk reduction agenda, that build a disaster resilient and climate adaptable society, make a clean and green environment, and above all, if we can do all sort of things, definitely we will be able to reach the economic stability and the sustainable growth of our country. And once we have this in our country, automatically the other countries and the whole nation, whole world will be benefited by this. Thank you very much for patiently listening to me. I am really grateful, and I always feel myself privileged whenever I get an association with a noble person like Pokhriyalji, who has not only understood several phenomena, but he has conveyed through his writings, through the books. I have seen he wrote a book in Himna, and what are the importance of the glaciers, what are the implications it can have to our society, for the upbringing of the people living into the Himalayan states, and for the benefit of the. So he has made a tremendous contribution contribution, not only as a political leader to give some policy decision, policy makers. Our new education policy is very, very important. Every country outside India, they are also appreciating this type of policy we should have in many countries. And if we can have all the education at the root level, I think we will be able to solve 100% problem. Our main problem lies in the root. There we are not understanding very clearly, and that the education policy properly implemented, that will give us that light, the torch. So he is our torch bearer. So we are very, very fortunate and happy. Thank you very much, sir, and I wish and pray God that you continue like this and give us light so that we all get illuminated by the blessings of the Almighty, by the resources of the Almighty. Whatever He has given to us, we can enrich ourselves by taking all of them. Whatever we need, up to that much, we should have our limit. We should understand that what is our lifestyle for the environment. So we are also responsible to make the change into the environment, and we can reverse it. So we have to work very hard to reverse the climate change, to reverse the environmental impact, and definitely day will come when we will be suffering very less by the disaster, very less by the catastrophe what we are facing today in our Himalayan state. Thank you very much.
I welcome to our Honorable VC Sir, Chancellor Sir, and our Honorable Chairperson, Dr. Nishan Sir, to come on the stage for give the guest of honor to Dr. Kailajan Senji. And India's G20 presidency. Dr. Raja Luis.
Namaste. Estoy con este colega. This connection is right. Can I continue? So my deepest ministry and appreciation to Minister Umesh Pokrati of the University. Around the world, we all know Dr. Pokrati for many things as it was an education that is not worldwide and is appreciated as a very wide and progressive as well as integrative. And the Himalayan University provides a beautiful scenario for the G20 world of India in the world. And when we think back to the other to become this speaker of the Maha Parishad is mentioned so many times in so many contexts in the Vedic literature. And we really like to connect the Vedic expression with the scientific methods. of the root of the character of the world. In a world that has so much fragmentation now and so much concern, this G20 conference and the role of India comes as the reference of wisdom from the very ancient and very modern scientific understanding of the Vedic science and Vedic technologies. In the Vedic tradition, in the Vedic knowledge, we understand one earth and one family and one future as basic understandings of all the rishis and of all the scientists. In the modern science now, have been our effort to unify science and understanding of nature. The sense of oneness is very big in modern science. In quantum physics, we have managed to unify all the main four forces of nature, which we call the interactive, weak, and strong, and electromagnetism and gravitation, to make them one force, in a unified field of oneness that connects the whole universe in one single thing. And various theories are unfolding about it, but there is a very big trend to do that. We have the same in biology to the understanding, very big understanding of the DNA and its connection to DNA expression. And like that so far in so many sciences. But the Vedas have already said that there was a common basis of our knowledge. Not that, but knowing which everything else will be known. It's the motto of the very knowledge of unity. Not that thing, not that area, that being, that being, that gear, but knowing which all the different aspects will be known. And that means that if there is a time ever when the whole one family can be unified, if there is a time ever where one earth could be protected, courage, if there is a time ever that the future could be together in positivity, will only be on the basis of Vedic sciences and its technology, and in the real world of India and the people who know the world. And it is not only needed in the levels of society, in the levels of, it's needed in every level. The knowledge expressed in a family like me, the knowledge expressed in all the great basic mottos of life, has a deep science, and we have to study these science. And we need to just prove that practicing the technology in different situations in the world, Lebanon, in the world in Mozambique, in different difficult situations in terrorism, that the Vedic experts creating, activating this very group, we are able to create a group that actually says that something where in the vicinity of that peace comes. In the same way we have done research on what earth. Automatic technologies itself, that depending on how the people is thinking, those will bring the race calm time or not, those will bring the fire to not, those will bring the pandemics. It's connected to the human beings. It's not coming from somewhere. It's connected to the direction of governance by environment. And we did, during 7 years in our university, that's a research where we have a very good partners performing with local partners in the US and experiencing the level of data. They were not here and reaching the work for 7 years. When we stopped doing that, then the hurricanes came back. And this has been published this year by the Journal of Research in the US, showing the importance of the Vedic technologies. In the time that it is now expecting the G20 call for one nation, one will always be on the role of builders as India the business world. And we want to take this opportunity to thank infinitely the greatness of the Vedic tradition and the foresight and insight of Dr. Ramesh Pokarati and others under his leadership, Dr. Natani and great scientists that we don't have now, to say in the Himalayas in your university, you have the greatest and the best knowledge required, which is going to make India not only a leader, but a family leader for all the nations in the world, giving them a reference that the leadership is on basis of compassion, of love, of karuna, and this is the greatness contribution of India, which could be tested scientifically, which is tested and studied in universities, but never ever before, which provides hope for the whole mankind. And that deserves our family and deepest congratulations. So today, we just want to honor the conference and tell you, please continue, because if we take care of honor, if we take care of the one family, we will have one future. Thank you very, very much for the opportunity. For the
International Conference, as Sir says about Vasudeva Kutumbakam, we also find the Vasudeva Kutumbakam concept in our English literature, where Rabindranath Tagore famous poem or poetry, Gitanjali, and there is a famous poem or song in there, where the mind is without fear. There is a very famous line there, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. It means that the walls are made by man, not by the God. And it is our fault, you can say, that we cannot progress in all over world. In this concept, I introduce or I welcome to the chief guest of our Dr. Ramesh Pokarati sir, to come on the stage and say our graduate.
G20 is अंतर्राष्ट्रीय